come and clean out the greenhouse with me. It is freezing. I don't know where you are in New Zealand right now, but it is so cold here in Taupō. I know it gets cold here. I've lived, how long have I lived here now? I've lived in Taupō for 6 years, New Zealand for 10, and I swear this is one of the coldest winters I've had up here. It is freezing, and we had a pretty mild winter last winter, so I think it's just a bit of a shock to the system how cold it is right now. I'm out in the greenhouse, which is a total mess. If you watched my other video, I kind of gave you a full shot of what it's like in here. So I have just dropped the kids off at school in kindy. I've got the last day of annual leave today before I'm back at work tomorrow, so I've got one day, well, like, I haven't got to watch them, 5 hours or so right now to clean the greenhouse out and to do some seed sowing. Cue the time lapse because this took a little while, so I just started by moving out all the pots. You'll see on my other video that a lot of my seed trays had blown over in the wind, so there was dirt everywhere. So I just started gathering up the pots and then moving everything out, ready for sweeping. This is basil that's gone to seed. It did its own little ecosystem while I was away, which was cool. Look, it's its own little pond. I wonder if we'll get any froggies. Where chrysanthemum cuttings go to die. These had rooted beautifully, my autumn cuttings, and I left them in the greenhouse and went away for a month. Yay! About halfway through. I really should have made sure my weed matting was all the way to the edge because I've got a nice little jungle that's running all the way around the border now, which I'm pulling out. And sorry, I'm still snotty, so sorry for my nasally voice. Because are you even a mum if there's not random toys from when they were 2 scattered around the house? This little wooden unit that I picked up, oh great, there's more toys in here. I picked this wooden unit up just from an op shop, I don't know, for like 10 bucks or something. Op shops are charity shops if you are watching from the UK, or thrift stores if you're watching from the US. That would be cool. Is anybody from America watching this? And I just find, yeah, cheap storage really handy. Ah, look at this little guy. Cute. I might save him when the kids come home. He'll probably go in some sort of lunchbox for a while. The soil in these little trays is still good, so I'm just popping it into one of my cucumber containers so it will be recycled and feed the cucumbers in summer. I've got some dahlia tubers here that never had any eyes on them or sprouted up from last year, so I'm just going to chuck those in the compost. These are some basil that I grew in the tiniest little terracotta pots, and they cranked out so many leaves. We use them a lot for pizza over summer, but it shows how much you can grow in just a tiny little pot. You could just have this on a windowsill or a balcony, and look at all the seeds that I've got from it too. So I'm gonna save some of those. Back inside to do some more sweeping, just sweeping off the top of this unit. I think I'm going to actually move it around a little bit and do a little bit of a reorganize in here. I just found my old gloves hiding down there. And I was just saying, when I was younger, I used to have the worst phobia of spiders. And then I lived in Australia for a little bit, so I'll just never not believe that a giant huntsman hasn't made his way in there and is going to chew off a few of my fingers or something. So yeah, they might need to go in the wash or just be donated somewhere. I'm actually going to leave all the spider webs up here because they can only be doing good things for the flies come summertime. So spiders, you look a bit messy, but you are allowed to stay. Tomatoes? In winter? What are you doing here? It's a little story time about this greenhouse. My dad and husband built this for me for my 30th birthday. They built it before we moved house at the old place we used to live at, and it used to have a beautiful layer of bricks around the bottom, so it sat on some bricks. But when we moved house, our neighbour had a crane and he basically just craned it up and out, and the bricks couldn't be saved, unfortunately. So no more bricks, and it's definitely not the prettiest greenhouse, like reclaimed doors, but I love it. It's so cool, and yeah, special because it was built for me by those guys. This is as good as it's gonna get today. So I've just created a little area for pots. There's more pots in there. I've got little like containers for seed tags that I will bring out of the garage at some point for those. And then I've got a little bench here, which I think I'm going to store all my vases on the bottom there for when I do my flower arrangements. I think that's a good little place for that. This corner are pots and things ready for cucumbers, chilies, capsicum, come spring, summer. This chili plant, it's still green, so I think if I just cut it back, it might be okay. I'll give it a little drink. And then I have just a tray where the seeds that I start will go after I've started them indoors. I will move them out here and they can sit there as well. So it's definitely better than it was. There's some floor space. We are done. I often find jobs like this tricky to do, or find the motivation for, I should say. And then I just want to put my blinkers on, and it makes me not want to come out in the garden because I know it's a mess and I'll struggle to get anything done when it's a mess, and it's just this perpetual cycle that makes me not want to come outside. So I'm happy I bit the bullet and tidied up a bit today. I have some stuff from the garage that I want to move out here as well, but it's a start, and I'm going to start seed sowing soon now. See you next time.